All right, well, the printing presses at the Federal Reserve are redlining in fifth gear at this point. They've created more money in the past couple months than they have in the past century. Now, could that lead to hyperinflation? It's certainly possible, but it depends on a few things. Not all that money makes its way into circulation. Sometimes money enters into the credit markets and overnight it's given back. So I'm not confident enough to say that without a doubt we're going to be in some Weimar or Zimbabwe situation, but this is still highly troubling and some seriously terrible consequences could come about from this. Not to mention, in case anyone forgot, the Fed is still keeping interest rates down to unnatural levels. And while they do this, you have Jim Cramer on Mad Money. I don't know why you'd ever listen to this guy, but he went on a bit of a tirade defending the Federal Reserve, calling Jerome Powell brilliant for keeping big businesses afloat. And it's just ridiculous. Let them fail. Let them die off. Yes, it does make me mad when CEOs get paid huge sums of money when they run a business terribly, yet government creations artificially keep their blood pumping. Let them go the way of the dinosaur. Free up that capital. Let it be put to more useful ventures. Don't reward bad behavior. And Jim Cramer here was also screaming about how the stock market is not in a bubble. But then he immediately says that all those people who want the Fed to raise interest rates or let interest rates naturalize and actually reflect reality, he says that that would cause the stock market to crash. So according to Jim Cramer and the people who parrot what he says, the stock market is not in a bubble, but we can't let interest rates rise or go to where they'd be naturally because that would cause a crash. I don't think he realizes it, but he just admitted that the stock market is in a bubble. That's what a bubble is when the price soars because of artificial stimulation. It's a big bag of empty air. And if you stop pumping it up, it pops and reality comes crashing in. So very strange. Stock market isn't in a bubble, but we can't stop pumping air into the bubble because that would cause it to crash. The contradiction is stunning. But Jim Cramer did make one good point. He pointed out that the Federal Reserve is not in the entire economy. There's more to it than that. And that's true. Now, it has influence on at least 1/2 of every transaction that occurs in the U.S., so it's extremely sizable, but he's right in a sense, and we should be glad for it. It's not the only thing that affects things. So when it becomes undeniable to people that the Federal Reserve is the cause of a hefty percentage of our economic woes, and we then hopefully rid ourselves of this terrible institution, there will be some short-term pain. The Fed has been hosting a booze-soaked, coke-fueled party for a while. You can certainly have fun at one of those, but there will come a point when reality comes crashing in and you're going to be in some serious pain. So what can we do to offset that pain? We could perhaps slash the gargantuan regulatory state, slash taxes, cut spending, quit our empire building, quit funding all the failed ventures of the government, which is a hefty chunk of them. You do this and it could offer some good padding for what is otherwise going to be a rough landing. But anyway, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better, I fear. But it is good to see a lot of anti-Fed rhetoric coming from the Trump camp, at least, and among Trump supporters. I do hear real, authentic anti-Fed stuff. They're not just upset that the Fed won't do what Trump wants. That's at least a good sign in all of this, and a sign that we may be able to head in the right direction for once. Because after all, the direction we have been heading for 12 years is 0% interest rates, and Jim Cramer has the audacity to say, the stock market's not in a bubble. It becomes ridiculous. You cannot print your way into prosperity. But that's all for now. Like, subscribe, share this video with some cool people. Take it easy.